Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what it is. We must break down another dominant performance from the GWOAT. I'm going to call her the GOAT, Claressa Shields. I'm telling you, it was dominant in her hometown. She had Detroit. The Little Caesars Arena was on a frenzy. I mean, the whole city was lit. I mean, seriously, the IBF, WBA, WBC, WBO, Flint, Michigan, pay homage. Claressa T Rex Shields put on a dominant performance and won by decision against Maricela. We're going to break it all down from a man who was there live. We got Phonics in the building. Phonics, what's good? Talk to the
Yo, what's
people, man.
good, D? It was good. Yo, it was lit in there. It was lit, man. Yo, nothing but Michigan fighters fighting. That's all due to Claressa Shields. Yo, she sold, I just was checking, 11,700 and something tickets, man. That's who was in, you know what I'm saying, who was there. That's very impressive, man. Um, it was lit in there. She dominated from the beginning. I could see Maricela Cornejo as soon as Claressa Shields came out and she heard the bruise on her name, she was looking very, very nervous. She was shaking her head. She was out of the fight from the beginning. And Claressa Shields was focused from the beginning because she knew her whole hometown audience was watching. You know what I'm saying? So she put on a good show. It was really devastating from the beginning, but I will give Cornejo credit. She came in at the last minute. Claressa Shields was supposed to fight Hannah Gabriels, as most of us know, but Hannah Gabriels tested positive for steroids. So in 2 weeks' notice, Cornejo took the fight, said she was in good shape, so there's no excuse. She stepped in the ring. She's 16-6, now 16-7. I thought she would put up somewhat of a fight, but it didn't look that way, man.
Right. What was that? Like you said, the atmosphere was crazy in the building. Were you surprised at the dominant, situation? We all know that she wasn't originally supposed to fight Marciela. It was some issues with the previous fighter testing for some problems. How did you think she stepped in against the GOAT?
I think she was embarrassed. Her being a Mexican fighter, I thought that I would see more toughness out of her. You know what I'm saying? But she was just never in her groove, man. And Shield just kept hitting her with so many devastating jabs to the face, she could never recover. Now to her credit, she didn't go down and went the whole 10 rounds, but um it was totally out of her favor. And it wasn't even no hometown, you know what I'm saying, favorite stuff. Claressa just dominated from round one to round 10. And the atmosphere was so lit because, you know, I'm not from Detroit. I'm from New York out here, you know what I'm saying, out here in Michigan. But it was really lit, man. They was really far. The crowd, like, I can understand now how fighters can keep going. It's the adrenaline, man. It's that rush of the crowd. And they were just so loud and on their feet, man, like you couldn't deny it.
Right. So, is there any other challenges, for Clarissa Shields? What's next? Obviously, I heard some rumors of her going to the MMA. What's next for her?
Well, it's kind of funny that she had this fight because at the end of last year, she kept talking about, and I guess it was smoke and mirrors, but she said she had two MMA fights this year, and she wasn't even going to devote her time to boxing. That's why I was so surprised to hear when this fight came up. However, she's the undisputed middleweight. You got the welterweight. You know what I'm saying? You got Franchon Cruz, and Savannah Marshall about to fight. You know what I'm saying? Her and Cruz is good friends, but you know what I'm saying? If Shields chooses to go back up and fight her, we'll see what it is. Shields already beat Cruz and Marshall. So maybe that's not something she wants to do. You still have Amanda Seriano out there. Yo, you got a lot of good fighters out there. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. I think she's gonna take her time and savor this one. I mean, hell, we in June. If we see Shields again, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see her till maybe late November, December. You know, who the opponent can be, I can't tell you right now because it's a lot of women who still have to fight. So those fights are going to decide everything and how she chooses to go. Because, let's not be, she's the face of women's boxing. Just like Tank is the face of men, she's the face of women's boxing. So she's going to take on who she thinks is going to sell tickets. And that's why she had chose Hannah Gabriels. And I honestly believe if Hannah Gabriels was able to fight last night, it would have been more people in attendance. but it still was a good turnout.
Right. You know, it's crazy, like you said, the future for MMA. What do you think about all the stars that flock towards Claressa, like from the men's side, the Shakurs of the world, obviously many others? It seemed like she got a strong base of male fighters that, like I said, is ready to go to bat for her. What's your thoughts on this?
I mean, yo, the GOAT, as she likes to be called, greatest woman of all time. She's just exciting. She hits hard. She's tenacious. When she get in that ring, it's all business. You know what I'm saying? And she wants to win. And the male fighters like that because that is a part of them. That's what they want to do. And to see a woman have that same kind of, you know what I'm saying, ferociousness, you know what I'm saying, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that women don't possess that, but she really personifies that. And she personifies being a champion, man. And she's undisputed. And whenever you're undisputed, man, in boxing, you got to get your respect, man. You got to.
Right, I'm with you with that. Like I said, it seemed like there's only so many more barriers. Do you think she could dominate the MMA scene? We've seen her do that before. You know, what's your thoughts on that?
Honestly, bro, I hope she stays 10 toes up. I don't want to see her, you know what I'm saying, MMA. That's not really my sport per se. You know what I'm saying? I would like to just see her straight boxing. I feel like she's already on track for a Hall of Fame career. She's so young, man. I think she's 25. Um, I just want to see her keep going, man, because I feel like it's limitless. And she's really building women's boxing, man. Like, yo, the women were there last night because the men were there. That's just the fact. So the men came out to support, and so did the women. You know what I'm saying? And she gonna keep growing, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be there, man, because I'm a huge supporter of her, man. I remember her in the Olympics. She had a documentary that came out years ago, and I was really inspired by her story, man. She came up hard. She's from Flint, Michigan, which is maybe like an hour from the D. Um, and you know what I'm saying? She's a great fighter.
Right, like I said. One more. Any other closing remarks before we get out of here? It was obviously a legendary entrance as well. I want to get into the entrance with Cash Doll. You know, like I said, to give us some last second thoughts on this
Oh
entrance.
man, yo, when that happened, it got so lit in there. And I hope you do some of the footage, but yeah, it got so lit in there when she came out with Cash Doll, another, you know what I'm saying, Detroit native, you know what I'm saying, native of Michigan. It got so lit, everybody was on their feet. She had the champers here, you know what I'm saying? She had the sunglasses on, like she had the swagger the whole time. That's how really she beat Cornejo. Her swag. She just had swag. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we see so much from the male fighters. And it's good to see that the women also have that same swag. You know what I'm saying? It was a very impressive win. Um, I think she's gonna bring more boxing to Detroit, which is gonna be great. And maybe next time we can get some more bigger fights. But big shout out to her for helping the local fighters. She had a lot of local fighters on her ticket, the same way Tank Davis did when he fought Ortiz in DC. He had it mostly Maryland, you know what I'm saying, DC fight. She did the same thing. And salute to her for that. Because we got to see a lot of talent that we would have never got to see.
Right, I'm with you on that, man. Everybody hit the like button. Most definitely hit that subscribe button. It's Flight Sports TV. You already know what it is.